Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Spartan 3 Crusher, back at it again with a much anticipated CRKT Homefront review. Holy crap, guys, I've been wanting to do this review for the longest time, and finally, I could bring it to you. Here in my hand, I have the highly reviewed, highly popular CRKT Homefront, and wow, what a beauty of a knife. I mean, this thing is amazing. Ken Onion has really hit a home run right here. He's hit this out of the park and down 20 miles home run. This thing is just a beautiful knife. And it's just so simple, and yet it's so robust. And that's what I like about it. This is AK-47 tough and AK-47 simplistics. Let's make it simple on my mouth because I just got off work, so I can't say big words today, guys. I'm sorry. But either way, you're here for the specs and why this knife is amazing, not for my backstory here or not for any other side stories. And I'm not going to bore you with any other stories, but this knife. So let's get into it, guys. So this knife, like I said, CRKT Homefront, all-state steel, aluminum scales. And so that makes this thing relatively light. It is a little bit bulky, a little bit, like I said, it's robust. So it's not the lightest, but around 3.5 to 4 ounces. That's where I'm going to range this. I don't know for certain, but I know it's close to my griptilian, quite close. So 3.5 to 4 ounces. It's a flipper, non-assisted knife, which I kind of wish it was assisted. But being it's a break, like you could break this apart, I don't know how they would do that. But this thing would be an awesome assisted knife. But either that or it has polymer or some sort of rubber bushings instead of a bronze or a brass bushings. So it's not the smoothest in the world to open, but it's not that difficult to open. So there's a little bit of friction in here, if you can hear. I don't know if you can hear that, me opening and closing. You can hear the blade running against the polymer or rubber, whatever it is. So it's not the smoothest. I kind of wish it had some bronze or brass bushings, but I know for a fact that if they did that, the bronze or the brass bushings might have fallen out, and we don't want that. So I understand why they did it, and I can't really say anything because I would have done the same thing if I was creating this knife. But let's get into really why this is the coolest knife probably out on the market right now. And that's what they call the field strip technology. And what that is, so you just flip this lever here, which disconnects this blade, the joint here, and the two scales up here. And all you do is rotate this backwards and disconnect the scales from back here. And you should just be able to pull this apart and not drop your knife, not drop your blade. You don't want to do that. But pull this apart and break it into 3 pieces. Boom, field stripped. And if I'm not mistaken, from what I hear, CRKT is planning to make different blades for this Homefront. So, stuff like a gut hook blade or maybe a tanto blade, who knows. So, from what I hear, they're going to be doing something similar to that. And which I think is pretty dang amazing. And what I would really also like to see is maybe some different scales. Maybe you want some maybe you want a frame lock scale or something, maybe a G10 scales, something. There's so much you can do, so much potential with this knife. And that's why I really think you should go out and buy it, because there's so much potential in the future for upgrades that it's just going to flood the market, guys. And I really think this knife is just going to go up in value. I could pretty much predict that, and I think almost everybody else is predicting that this knife here will just go up in value. So if you guys are watching me, I'm putting this back together. What you do is just reverse of what you did taking it apart, and it's just that simple. You just the twist of this lever down, the twist of this wheel down here, and the flip of a lever, and you got it taken apart, and you got it putting back together, and it still works. So it's it's pretty fancy. I mean, I'll give it that. But how strong is it? You know, to me, when I saw this knife, I thought it was cool, but I just couldn't really grasp my hand around that, thinking this knife would be anywhat reliable. You know, it being able to break apart. I thought if you put any sort of pressure on this thing, it's just gonna snap here. But yeah, this thing is pretty dang robust. I'm really been putting into this little lock right here, this liner lock, and this joint, and seeing that you can break this apart, and having, I don't know what mechanism is in here keeping this, the blade and the handles together, but seeing you have all these different factors here, and having no budge, no movement at all of the blade, that's just amazing to me. I mean, I'm just blown away that this has no movement. It is a strong lockup. This thing is just amazingly strong. I mean, I feel like I could just run this over with a tank and expect it to work. I mean, this is AK-47 tough right here, guys. But, and no, I'm not being paid by CRKT or anybody to say this. This is my actual review. I'm 100% positive. I would not lie. I will put my hand on a Bible right now if I had one. Which I don't on me. But let's get on to the cutting test. This thing comes razor blade sharp. I mean, just ready to go to war sharp. Straight from the package. Like, holy crap, guys. So, here's a standard piece of paper. Go ahead, flick it open. Yeah, Jesus, this thing is just sharp as hell. Holy crap, guys. This is just like butter going through this paper. I'm not even putting any pressure on this. I'm just limp wristing this. No pressure, and it's just gliding, taking little bitty chunks off of it. Look at that, guys. Just in a matter of seconds, turn this paper into shreds. Wow, that's pretty sharp. I'm pretty impressed. Seeing how my CRKT squid came dull as hell from the factory, and seeing how sharp this is, I'm impressed, CRKT. Y'all really just hit a home run here. I can't complain. I am raving over this knife. I wish I could buy this. Unfortunately, this is on loan from Overwatch Supply. I don't have the money to buy this, which sucks because I am so much in love with this knife. I ever since I saw this came out, I wanted one, but I couldn't really justify it. But now that I have it in hand and know that the weaknesses that I thought it would have are, just not there, and this thing is just a strong, robust knife, all I can do is just pray to get the money to buy one. And I think later on in the future, I will buy one. There's no doubt about it. But no time soon, because I just don't have the money. So, final thoughts and pros and cons about this knife. One of the cons, I will say, it doesn't have a reversible or movable pocket clip, so that does kind of suck. I mean, yeah, for the lefties, I'm sorry, but maybe during the future when you can replace the scales or something, they might have a left-hand version. Who knows? That'd be something to look into. There's also it's a good pocket clip though. Don't get me wrong though. I really like this pocket clip. I totally forgot to talk about this. It's a deep carry pocket clip, and one screw was kind of hard to get to, so you'd have to get. That's the other thing. It's kind of hard to get to this screw here, so got to have a very small driver bit. Another thing, like I said, the rubber washings. I'm not a big fan of that. I wish it was bronze, but I don't know how they would implicate bronze, so I'm okay with the rubber. God, I'm trying to think of cons here, and I really can't think of anything else than that. And, I mean, yeah, the pocket clip is definitely not a preference con. That is an actual con. It does suck that you can't reverse this pocket clip. But, well, let's go to the pros then. I really can't think of any other cons. But, the definite pros, though, it's a very strong knife, very robust. I don't ever see this thing breaking in the future. Like, I really can't imagine me breaking one of these knives. This is just an extremely robust knife. The grips, they're not that grippy, but they are just beautiful and match this blade. This I is it stonewashed? I don't think so. But I like the color of this blade and the color of this handle. The very dark gray and the very dark OD green. It just matches and pops. It's a beautiful knife. And if I remember correctly, it was designed after a World War I fighting trench knife. That's, you get the star from, and some of the features. But it is just a beautiful blade. I really can't complain with it. Very sharp. What really would you use this for? I really have no clue. EDC, I don't know. Definite skinning though. This would be a good skinning knife, seeing how wide this belly is and how just sharp this thing comes out the package. And also, Allstate is a softer steel, so you can get this thing razor blade sharp and keep it razor blade sharp if you maintain it. But it will go dull on you because it is softer. But let's compare it here to, like I said, oh wow, is it smaller than my Griptilian? Nope, it's just the same 3.5 inches. What else do we got here? Got the Kershaw CTC 6K. What else? Let's throw in a big boy. Why not? We're talking about trench fighting knives. Let's go ahead and get the Spartan out. I would throw in the Gerber 3.0, but I really just can't. I think these are right around where this should be. And, all these have their own pros and cons, but it's just the CRKT has that one feature that makes it just stand above the rest. And, yes, that's the field strip technology. These other knives, yeah, they're fighting. Some of these are fighting knives, except this one. This is really an EDC knife. So let's get to the fighting standpoint here. Let's say you take these to war. You're gonna get dirt, mud, blood, and guts in here, and that's where this thing will shine, right here. If you get anything in it, this thing is just gonna shine in it. Why? Because you can take it apart and clean it. You don't have to get any tools or nothing. So this thing is just tin onion. Really just thought of the most ingenious design and put it to paper and then made it, and it's just beautiful. I really, if I bought one of these, I don't think I would ever use it because I really just want to savor this and not ever touch it. I'd want to keep it up top somewhere and just look at it and play with it, not really cut anything with it, because the thing, to me, this is just a work of art to me. It's just so beautiful. I can't complain with it at all. But I like it. If I had to rate it, 4 out of 5. And there are some things like the bushings. I really don't like rubber bushings. They are, definitely a lot slower than brass, and definitely a lot not as smooth as brass or bronze. The pocket clip, yep, yeah, I want the pocket clip to be reversible. But other than that, there's not really much I can complain about. So 4 out of 5. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait till they come out with the replaceable scales and the replaceable blade. That's going to be awesome, and that's why I really think you should get this now before they only go up in price. So go ahead and get that $140, $150 out of your wallet and go purchase one. I don't think you'll be upset. But all right, guys, so that's been their little crash course here on the CRKT Homefront. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I love this knife, and I love reviewing it. It's just an amazing blade. But until next time, guys, I'm Spartan 3 Crusher. Leave a like, comment, subscribe down below, and I'm signing off.